Okay. Hopefully that cleared it up. Righteous. As I was saying, I'm your host, Wayne Moore, aka Mortanius, and welcome back to the channel. We're back with some more Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, and when we last left off, we were, of course, dealing with some technical issues, but if we're lucky and everything happened just right, those should be solved. So now we're just in the process of coming back to a cutscene we didn't get to properly see from a video that was almost lost. Luckily, though, well, we were lucky. If you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of my other playlists, and wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and get comfortable. Let's get into this.
The boss is back. Let's go refuel and load up on artillery.
We're good to go, Chief.
Huzzah!
What's the matter?
I don't want to say. Look over there. Well, you seem like a very emotional creature right now. Maintain, soldier.
Stop this! Now!
Yeah, you strong. But you know I got them hands.
What the fuck, you freak? Give me a hand!
All that strength can't break free from a grip like that, huh?
Hold her still!
You have to wonder what all was in that needle.
Dismissed.
Yeah, I got shot once or twice in my last mission, so what? Want to fight about it?
Payback for how they treated her? Doesn't explain the others. She had every chance to kill them. Tight security on her cell. This happens a second time. There won't be a third.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey.
Boss, about Eli. I'd heard that one
Yeah.
product of the Les Enfants Terribles project went missing in Africa. The age would be about right. Now, I'm not saying I think it's Eli, but I want to run a genetic test all the same.
Thank you
Don't
for
worry,
letting me join
I'll have it done without him noticing. The
Analysis.
test may take some time, but I'll tell you as soon as we have the results.
Oh, the counselor. Right, I forgot that. This platform is where you tend to see women more often.
Boss.
Don't know why, but there it is. Okay, so I guess we ain't gonna even talk about all of that happened earlier, huh? Huh. I must have forgot that. That's funny.
Boss, let's have a mock battle.
You don't want that. Ask your teammates for a mock battle. Excuse me. Alright.
Boss,
Figured I'd get at least a little
send me on a mission.
bit of morale. Maybe a little bit more. The Marines, who aren't Marines.
Roger. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Alright, keep quiet, I'm coming.
Gaining altitude.
Staff assigned.
Yep, no doubt.
Please select a mission.
Oh, that was a challenge done. Cool. Thought I chose to take out shields.
Unit dispatched.
Gas mask it is then. You gonna behave yourself or you need another shot? Sure, Ocelot's got plenty. And I did not shower. Fabulous.
Please select a landing zone.
Time to shower real quick. I knew something was off. Got into the chopper too quick. Huh?
Ngezaba, Tatana Mono, Intangu Yandi, Ivanda Kake Salanamin.
Geke Salaka, Tata Nange Mingi.
Ah, Eli Lolula Mono, Muzolaka Vekutuba.
Ukizina Uge Bingi Lakamono. Ukizina Uge Bingi Lakamono.
Hey, Tepe, Eli, what's the matter? Fighting will get you nowhere, Eli.
You gotta be willing to spank kids now.
Cut it out, kid. That ain't a toy. Eli.
Don't call me that!
You didn't hear what I said to you.
I'm not a kid. You hear me?
Enough.
Kid. Oh, time for another spanking. Non-existent weight versus mid-weight. And he's down. Spare the rod. So we good? Cool. Cool.
On the battlefield, they use one another's nom de guerre.
So about this kid who
Here,
ain't my
he insists
kid.
They use their real name.
Well, slash me.
That hasn't sat too well with Eli. Or should I say, Unyoka Ya Mbempe. He thinks his boys are letting us grown-ups walk all over him.
I can understand the sentiment. He spent all his time out in the bush taking from adults.
Clouds
Not
approaching.
surprising. They all came around. That was a superior level of authority. Not only in rank, just age as well. Power, age, power of potential wisdom. Not surprising. He's smart enough to understand power structure. But I mean, he's 12, so he's old enough to know quite a bit about the ways of the actual world.
Roger.
It almost be weird if he didn't. But then he'd be dead. So. They can temporary short league. And there's always a short league going on. It doesn't matter how many hours you can play the game, as long as you can access to the FOB content. There's always a short league or something. It's literally a daily thing. It'll be useful. What's your wicked
Please
butterfly
specify
doing
a
right?
project.
What's that looking like? Finished. That's what that's looking like. Love it.
Please specify a project.
All right. Back at it. All right. Let's see. Challenges. Close contact with a rank A or above. Cool. Cool. Sure, why not? Well, actually, listen to those while we're out in the battlefield.
Please select a mission.
Boss, this contract comes from the Mbele rebel militants. That's right. That general's fighters. Recently, one of their child soldier platoons staged an insurrection and split from the main group. Thing is, they took a hostage with them. The general's brother. His number 2. The contract is to extract both that prisoner and the leader of the renegade platoon. The message reads, I love my brother. You must bring him back to me alive. It also says this about the leader of the child soldiers. He is an excellent soldier. I want to persuade him to rejoin the ranks of the righteous. Sounds a little too forgiving for the man who ordered those kids dead at the mine. I wonder what kind of persuasion the general has in store. With that in mind, here are your objectives. First, rescue and return the general's number 2 as requested. Second, extract the renegade leader, and we'll keep him at Mother Base. In other words, extract both targets out of the region. Good luck, boss.
It completely rearranges my whole setup. I thought it did. I thought I might have been tripping though. There's a reason why I set myself up a certain way, game. I don't want open gaps like this. Things can break and snap and bend. I don't want pieces that fly all over the place. I don't want my guns to be easily visible. I want it to be as small as possible and still do exactly what I need it to do. Kill. Hence me constantly looking at things like this to make sure I've got just the right shape. I try to keep as little of a visible profile as possible. Oh, right. Don't remember if that's what I had chose. But it's looking like the best choice for now, so I'll leave that be. Take that booster, definitely. I like that. I always did like when that booster came around. It was always a pretty useful weapon. You know what?
Clouds approaching.
Eli is a real handful. We just can't get him to trust adults. I only hope he doesn't cause any serious trouble.
You know he's going to, though. And we obviously can't kill him, but you know he's going to. See, I want that. But this is the one I want out of the two, honestly. I will... I'll go ahead and research this, if nothing else, then potentially have a better rifle for later. And to get some more advanced components.
Please select a mission.
Close.
Please select a mission.
Aim True Ye Vengeful. A group of child soldiers who have broken away from the Mbele rebels have abducted their XO, extracted both the child soldiers commander and the XO.
Mission
We think they're
accepted.
specialists.
Heading
I'll
to
take it.
Central Africa. Deploying.
I wonder, should I let her just take them out?
Your mission objectives are to extract the child soldier's commander and their captive, the General's number 2. This child soldier platoon decided to break away from the Mbele militants. They took the number 2 captive and have occupied an abandoned village. Start by checking that location on your map. Boss, the child soldiers will treat you as an enemy, but they're just kids. See that they don't get hurt.
I'm well aware, Kyle, and I entirely agree with you.
Find the child soldier's commander, and where they're holding the General's number 2 captive. You need to extract them both. You can check the location on your iDroid's map screen.
The map has been updated.
Be careful down there, boss.
Get out of here, Pequod. That's one of the fastest ways for me to be careful. It's for you to be careful. Good. She was going exactly where I wanted her to. I guess that was since that was pretty much the only staging location, she might as well. Alright.
Find and extract the child soldier's commander and the General's number 2. I've sent VI of the target's faces to your iDroid. Be sure to take a look.
Reconnaissance is best conducted from high vantage points. I've marked a good spot on your map. Take a look at your iDroid.
The
I
map
always
has
did
been
like when he
updated.
does that. It's actually a legitimate thing he does.
Looks perfect for reconning the village.
Placed.
He doesn't always, but when he does, it does tend to be useful to go to that area, if for nothing else, than to get a ocelot's eye view, I guess you could call it. Don't really get it, but I want it.
Extraction
Keep in
arrived.
mind that time doesn't stop while you use the iDroid. You can even move around while using it, but pay attention to your surroundings.
The map has been updated.
So time doesn't stop when I use a machine that ain't
You have
designed to
arrived
stop
at your
time.
destination.
No, you lying. You can't be telling me the truth.
Find and extract the child soldier's commander and the General's number 2. I've sent VI of the target's faces to your iDroid. Be sure to take a look.
Sure. No problem. Now, it's unusual. Sometimes they'll actually say something about once you reach that area.
Okay, that's the General's brother. His number 2. Get him out of there, boss.
Oh, quiet.
Security's pretty light. There are fewer kids around than our intel suggested. Maybe they sent some out on patrol.
I was going to say, something like that means there's usually at least some stragglers somewhere. So since that's the case, quiet. Unleash. I want my rifle. Oh, she got the scouts. Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, I didn't know you were targeting.
Security's pretty light. There are fewer kids around than our intel suggested. Maybe they sent some out on patrol.
I mean, it's fine. I was just hoping that the first couple of shots were actually going to be your targets instead of these dogs. If nothing else, and that's less time for them to mobilize. Somebody's got a helmet.
Guard post captured.
Ah. Nah, I think now she hit scout. Okay. This mission particularly is quite short. But we are nowhere near done. Yep. He hitting stragglers. She hitting stragglers.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Where are you? There you are.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
I hear kids to the left, to the left.
Staff assigned.
And Quiet just sending them that hot trank. That hot sticky
Please
trank.
select a mission.
Some of that concentrate that kick in. But only after it's been properly heated.
Unit dispatched.
59. I ain't having that.
Unit dispatched.
Sound like Quiet might have just got hit by one. Yep, he did.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
It's kind of a thing to. Oh, hey, that's funny. Kind of a thing to get these
Enemy
kids out of
presence
here.
detected. The map has been updated.
Since I can't Fulton them, it's gonna have to be a few runs, literally. Oh wow. Copter's out there.
Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Ooh, buddy. Ooh, boy. So, fellas, road trip. ladies behind. Don't tell them nothing.
Extraction
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequot.
So
Have arrived
wonderful.
at LZ.
So majestic.
Stand by.
I want to catch him.
support helicopter has arrived.
Thank you for apparently agreeing with me. I don't care who you are, boy. These are some strong tranks. The fact that I can drop a horse in a few or seconds, yeah, kind of says a lot. It really does. Ooh, quiet.
Alright, now you just need to extract the General's number 2.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Now bear witness, folks, to the magic of the infinite helicopter. I can fit all manner of individuals on that helicopter and still have space. Sounds to me like somebody's waking up,
Support helicopter
which is why I
has
wanted you to
arrived.
stay over there quiet. See what's bad. I'm gonna have to keep reiterating the Pequot to stay. Memory serves, that does cost its full summon price. But until at least
Support helicopter has arrived.
one of the best worst loading in
Extraction arrived in orders.
He's coming
it
too.
was like that before I got there. I'll be clear, there's no more kids, but I don't think I scanned all y'all. What was that? Oh, that's my point, though. No idea what that was until I knew what it was. It's almost like a bunch of dead people who had never died before.
Enemy presence detected. The map
Alright.
has been updated.
There's at least 2 targets.
Clouds
What is she
approaching.
shooting? Because I heard the
Enemy
clank of
presence
metal
detected.
like a
The
helmet.
map has been updated.
Yep. And there goes Pequot.
Support helicopter requested.
And I think I just lost some people.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Out of my sonar range. I want to say that reaches up to like 100 meters. Maybe not that much, but Dingo ate my baby. That is it, baby.
This is Pequot. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Don't ask Quiet is the doctor's office lost power at a critical moment with their most expensive patient. It just happens sometimes. Okay? Okay. Good. Glad we understand each other. I feel like I left somebody back in that village. Yeah. Bad parking job. No point in changing it now. I think that's... Still be taking this truck though. Maybe a little later. First I need to.
Now get out of the hot zone.
Mission info has been updated.
Did I though? I love that. Leaving Quiet in a place and she'll constantly attack that place if she can. Unless her attacks were disrupted, she will constantly give her.
Exfiltrated.
You've made it out of the hot zone.
Oh,
No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
made me exfil. Great.
Extraction.
I was just gonna
Nice work.
The base.
see if there was another kid and ride the chopper out.
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional.
I don't doubt it, but Quiet didn't get any bond time. That's upsetting. You think me telling her what to do and her doing it successfully and us being just fine would have, aided in that? Why are people so unnecessarily complicated?
Boss, about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive. I doubt the client will pay us for this one, but we got a big enough reward from the General's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I care.
I can respect it. Oh, shit. Here we go. Quarantine platform has been constructed. Move between platforms using the iDroid. Return to mother base menu while in the aerial command center. So what it is the quarantine. It has its own zone. Like, I think I showed it, but if not, I'll show it here now. But, quarantine has its own zone. Just like the, little zoo area that you've acquired. It's like a little, petting zoo, but if memory serves, you can't actually.
Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill. At first, it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests, and... Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper.
Alright, old bean, I'll see you in a second. Or at least converse with you in a second. Here we go with this. Alright.
Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop.
Boss, you've never seen these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher.
So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa.
Boss, the situation is urgent. We need to quarantine the infected and contain the pathogen. Priority now is to prevent more casualties.
But the problem is, how do we tell who's infected? During the incubation period, we have no way of knowing who's clean. You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them. That'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine. Given the situation, the men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you.
Of course, it's just a temporary measure until we find a permanent solution. But at least they'd be in solitary isolation so they won't infect each other, and we get the mental care they need. If we do nothing, we'll only lose more people. We have no choice. Boss, open your iDroid.
You okay?
I'll explain how to quarantine staff members suspected of infection. Go to the Mother Base menu and select Staff Management.
Let's manage that staff.
First, take a look at the quarantine facility we've set up. We'll isolate anyone who's already symptomatic at the quarantine facility. But we have to expect that there are multiple staff who are infected, but asymptomatic. So how do we identify them? At present, we have no way to tell them apart. But there has to be something for us to go on. If you notice anything, reassign staff you suspect are infected to the quarantine facility. We'll monitor them, and then contact you if there's a change in their condition. Correctly quarantining these asymptomatic infected will reduce the number of new infections. You should continue with your missions as usual. If Cypher is behind this, going after them should help us determine the root cause of this epidemic. Also, until we identify the pathogen, we can't fire or dispatch any staff. We cannot let this thing spread. Boss, get to the bottom of this fast. We're counting on you.
Well, I remember this when it first dropped. Confused me for a bit, but had to sort of knuckle down and look at the information. It took me about half an hour to look through my entire staff. And what I noticed is the one connecting point across every individual you hire, fire, and lose. The one connecting point, other than them being a soldier, is language. So then you narrow it down further. The only language any individual who's infected in here carries that others carry, Kikongo. Now, what that means is that there are quite a few individuals throughout all of Mother Base who speak Kikongo. I may have mentioned it before, but everybody can learn each other's languages. Everybody. So I have to go through and mark everybody who knows Kikongo, even if they're not infected right now. Quarantine them. Everybody. And as I speak, the potential exists for them to be picking up languages because time is passing and people are on missions. So now I can't send anybody out. I'll still make my resources for mercenaries, but beyond that, I can't send anybody out. Anybody I hire is gonna have to deal with this, which I'm still gonna be hiring. And as a matter of fact, once this starts, I'm gonna really need to be hiring. It's gonna get bad way before it gets good. Trust and believe. I always did like this little mechanic, the fact that they all learn languages and can actually pass this on, because that is the only connecting thing. When you just boil it all down and look at everything, skills don't matter, A's and B's and base management, research, combat, they don't matter. The only connection is language. The only connecting language is Kikongo. There are a few others who speak some other languages, but Kikongo is what you'll see the most in terms of this problem. And correlation is not causation, but in this case, I think it's somewhat safe to err on the side of caution in those regards. Sorry if this aspect of it is a little boring, folks. Just need to make sure, because if I don't actually do this, They will spread this. And I can lose some of the best people in the game, including Kojima, I think. You know, the Intel team member. Zulu. Seeing stuff like that is always it always enthuses me. Like, what language is this? Where does it come from? Obviously, Zulu is an African language, but that's not the point. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Ndebele? Like, what is that? So many languages that we know of, so many languages that have been lost through history and through battle. Kazakh. Oh, as in Kazakhstan? I didn't know that was a separate language. But I don't have context on that part of the world, so I couldn't really say it properly. Doing all of this, you just try not to pay attention to the numbers, like, honestly. Because if you do, you know full well you'll be there all night. And like I said, these people will infect your people. There's no way around it. I figure the only reason you're never infected is because you're snake, damn it. It's funny. Afrikaans and Congo occupy the same nation, but it's rare that you'll see somebody knowing both languages. Like, look at that. I ain't even halfway down the bar. That's why in the end you want people who can just fill up a slot a lot of the times. If for nothing else than numbers, and it's useful numbers. They might not be all around useful as your initial individuals, but they are useful numbers. Jesu Cristo. A few more folks. I'm not gonna sit here and subject y'all to this whole thing. Okay. What? Okay.
Select unit.
Hold up.
Select unit. Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
100+ people.
We'll quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection?
Mm-hmm. And what's so bad is you can't actually sort them by language. That was our homeboy spoke was Kikongo. He gonna be spreading it left and right. Shit.
clouds approaching.
Sorry about this, folks. I kind of got swept up in it again. But that should do it, at least for a time. I mean, that's the thing about it. I'm not really gonna be like discriminate with who I pick up again, even though I haven't really been. The point is I'm not really worried about language skills of who I pick up. I kind of need everybody for everything right now. Latvian, huh?
Select
All
unit.
right, that's well
Staff
enough.
has been quarantined.
Alright. We'll quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection?
Everything. Let's just get back
We're
to it.
definitely seeing a reduction in the number of full-blown infections. Did you figure out what's causing this, boss? Did it have something to do with staff abilities?
Yes, it did, cuz.
Boss,
That's a
a new
lot. Yes,
job's
it did.
coming. It's a hit. I'm the human trafficker who sent Shivani and the others to Nzoia Badia Bulu, where you rented to Skullface. The thing is, this guy might know something about the disease that's going around Mother Base. The symptoms are similar to the ones we saw at that factory. Start by checking the mission details on your iDroid.
Sure, but I need to check something. Forgot to let that tape run. Okay. Wait a minute. Yeah, I actually can still take them out. That's what I was worried about. 'Cause I was going to do my staff management, but I don't trust it.
Please select a mission.
Boss, there's a target on the run somewhere on the Savannah. Your job is to find and eliminate him. He's a logistics officer for the PF known as Rogue Coyote. On the side, however, he colluded with the Buta regime, abducting people from Mbeli villages and supplying them as slave labor. That's right. He's a human trafficker. His victims ended up all over the place. Brothels, black market, organ trade, diamond mines. And he was the one who sent Shibani and the other kids to the Devil's House. But then an Mbeli rebel group finally added him to their hit list. The target decided it was time to quit, and now he's trying to leave the country. If he makes it back to his country, he'll be no more than a civilian, and he'll avoid facing a court-martial, like so many other war biz junkies. I'll bet he plans on enjoying a new live finance with his blood money. The client's order is to take him out. How you go about that is up to you, boss.
Alright. Alright. Might as well pick him up to see what he knows. In the end, he might be useful. Hold up, what was that he said?
Please select a mission.
Boss, there's a target on the run somewhere on the Savannah. Your job is to find and eliminate him. He's a logistics officer for the PF known as Rogue Coyote. On the side, however, he colluded with the Buta regime, abducting people from Mbeli villages and supplying them as slave labor. That's right. He's a human trafficker. His victims ended up all over the place. Brothels, black market, organ trade, diamond
There it
mines.
is. Now I
And
remember.
he was the one who sent Shibani and the other kids to the Devil's House. But then an Mbeli rebel group finally added him to their...
Recently heard something. It was cops, if memory serves. But they were talking about, not cops, I want to say Homeland Security, maybe same difference-ish. They were talking about human trafficking. And from what they were actually saying, it's not as prevalent as a lot of people like to think it is. People tend to apparently conflate human smuggling with human trafficking. I guess they're not actually the same thing. Which it makes sense when you boil it down. But the point is, the numbers aren't as high as it's perceived to be. They obviously shouldn't exist. The numbers aren't as high as they seem.
Boss, the target is a PF logistics officer who works as a human trafficker on the side. The client wants him dead. He's currently on the run somewhere on the savannah with bodyguards. Unfortunately, we don't know what route they're taking.
Oh, this guy,
is a
okay.
coded transmission sent by the PF at the Ducati abandoned village. It appears to be a workup of the target's security plans, but to decipher it, we'll need an intel file with the encryption key. This key should be at the comms facility at the Ducati abandoned village. Check your iDroid to see what the target looks like, as well as the location of the village. Find the route. Find the man. That's the Ducati abandoned village. The enemy transmission originated from there. Worth checking out.
Yep. Now, because I chose not to sit here and do that whole thing, people are going to get infected. There's no way to avoid it. You're supposed to try to knock me down. Come on. He's hoping, though, it won't be an issue. I don't know why. I feel like I should go over here.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Mark, the map has been updated. Analysis complete.
That is funny. Yep. Oh, my bad.
Don't talk. Where are your friends?
Real crazy, huh? So crazy that was of no use to me.
Target is on the move somewhere on the savannah. Problem is, we don't know what route he's taking. It's too big a search area to cover without more information. If you find that intel file, it could give you a lead on him.
Speak. Where are your friends?
I think he actually gave me that field of movement. Because I don't think I thought it was like a line that I had. Gentlemen.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Bad peripheral vision, boy. Gonna make me waste one.
You have arrived at your destination.
Spit it out.
Somebody's missing.
The map has been updated.
I know it's crazy. Got the quarantine going. I'm bringing back people. Kinda need them though.
You gonna extract him?
Oh. What do you see, Quiet?
Where are the others?
The map has been updated.
Prisoner?
Development complete.
It is prisoner.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Just hoping I didn't leave the fairest of them all here. Oh, we're golden.
Boss, the target target is moving across the savannah. Find him and eliminate him.
Well aware. Thought you might have had something useful to say. Hey, how about a tape? Uh-oh. They on that bullshit back home. Not yet. Let's get these white mambas out the way.
Nyokayam Pembe. He's the commander of the kids based out of Wala Yamasa. As you know, contract forces of Africa were stationed at that village. Anti-government forces hired CRS to bring kids there from around Africa for training. But at some point, the adults with the PF started dropping like flies. This was right after we arrived in Africa. We don't know the cause. The kids ended up on their own. Must have been like fish out of water. Nothing to eat, no way to get back home. All the adults taught them was how to use a gun. Sure, they could shoot targets, but hunt for food? Not likely. They wouldn't have lasted long. Then the white mamba showed up. He was faster and stronger than them, a better soldier, and he knew how to lead. I guess somebody wished upon a star, because their savior turned up like stardust straight out of the blue. The moment he arrived, the kids had their new commander. That was when they started attacking other villages. Word of the infamous White Mamba spread fast. But it isn't just his combat skills that got people talking. As you can tell from the name, he's the only light-skinned kid in the unit. Not to mention the blonde hair and the blue eyes. Not common in those parts. We have no idea where he came from or what he's experienced. The kid's a huge blank. But I'm sure you'll know him when you see him. One other thing. He's still a kid, so don't kill him. Be careful not to hit him with anything lethal. Not even a flesh wound. Our mission objective isn't just suppressing a bunch of militants. This is a DDR operation of the kids in that unit. DDR stands for disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration. Disarmament is obvious.
You gotta extract him.
Weet, maar hoe de hel stam ek jy daai meerderwaardige wit Suid-Afrikaners? Dis genoeg wat 'n kots.
Hulle het in Suid-Afrika groot geword. Apartheid is in hulle bloed.
Dis dieselfde vir die ouens in Rhodesia.
Maar hou vas. Party van daai manne hanteer ons soos broers in 'n oorlog. Fokus op hulle.
Ja, jy's reg.
Jou uitspraakpunt kry.
Dankie.
Vat dit rustig.
Ja.
I wonder, did that just hit the wall or did it actually hit him? He's alright, he just needs a nap.
The demobilization part means dismantling their military organization to ensure they can't arm themselves again. To do that, you need to capture the unit's commander and have him order his men to disband. In this case, the commander is the White Mamba. There's nobody above him, so he's all we need to grab. Finally, reintegration. Through education and occupational training, we give them a means to live besides war. A lot of kids born in a war zone don't know any other way to live. So before they find themselves back there, we teach them another skill. I like to establish this rehabilitation process at Mother Base. That's why we're bringing those kids back here. It's not so much for their sake. It's for the world that we're trying to create. No other way about it. Those kids are amateurs. Bad for business to have them running around where we're trying to work. Bring them all back if possible. Or as many as you can.
You'll see him soon.
Boss, the prisoner you extracted was a civilian abducted by the target. He says the trafficker is trying to make contact with a human rights NGO. He hopes that by handing over his list of buyers, they'll guarantee his safety. But I don't get it. Why an NGO? Why run to someone else for help?
Spit it out.
The map has been updated.
A prisoner. He might have some information. If you extract him, we'll see what he knows.
Talk. Where are the others?
The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
couldn't remember if I had picked that up from a previous
You
mission.
have arrived at your destination.
My good gentlemen.
Where are your friends?
The map has
Take a
been
nap.
updated.
I have work to do. Come on. Whoa.
He's
Do you
coming
see
too.
what I'm saying?
Roger that.
Supplies
All the
requested.
infections just from the ones that I didn't send,
Supply
as well
drop
as infections
complete.
that happened in the quarantine place. So,
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Clouds approaching.
that's right. Fall asleep. That's right. Go ahead and take
Speak.
Asseblief.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Spit it out. Where are the others?
You gotta
I
extract
was
him.
worried about
Map
that.
has been updated.
I was hoping I'd get there before. Oh, sniper? Drop them off. Just drop them.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
The map has been updated.
Okay, subject is in.
You have arrived at your destination.
Don't need you using that.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Analysis
Almost had it.
complete.
She hit a helmet.
You gotta extract him.
Analysis complete.
Almost missed you. Yeah.
He's coming too. Roger that.
What the? That's partly what's been happening.
Boss, leave the intel files till later. The enemy's on combat alert.
I know what I'm doing. Oh, sounds like they shot a decoy. That's funny. They shot a decoy.
Outpost captured. Analysis complete.
Well, one would hope.
You gotta extract him.
Good Lord have mercy.
Analysis
Got to be more careful.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Glad I was at least able to Fulton the dude.
subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Well, these prisoners be knowing things and stuff, don't they? Hopefully these two have something to say. But apparently not. Maybe you'll be more talkative.
Where are the others?
Okay, subject is in.
Caution, rain approaching. Development project.
Master
has been
certificate,
added.
Fulton. No way. Durability up to the Fulton. I think that's a development project. Yes.
Please specify a project.
Yes, durability, reduced waiting time, and more ammo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then, of course, that rifle is done, but not the one I really need. Had to come get some stuff. I ran out of fault. Whack, whack. Is that an eagle? I don't know. I think that it kind of looked like one. Yeah, I guess we ain't talking not so much. That is. Okay. Guess I'll leave you alone. Why? Got a funny feeling. Leave him be. Huh. Not. Oh, nope. Ran out of Fultons, that's why. No. Standard scan screen with the mind controlling lens flare. I can see if it was just basic lens flare, but it's literally used multiple times throughout both games for no real reason.
Picked up an intel file. According to this information, the target is headed for Gaziba camp. We also have his movement route. I've updated your map. Use the target's route to locate him. Eliminating him will be much harder if he makes it to the Gaziba camp. Take him down on the savannah.
Updated. Buddy has infiltrated on the map. Has been updated. Marker placed.
Gotta go shopping for a moment. You know they say diamonds are forever.
Arrived at your destination.
We know they're not, but whatever. Doesn't stop them from being wanted.
I've marked a vantage point on your map. It'll give you a good view of the target's route. I'm sure you'll find a use for that.
The map has been updated.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look
Lager
at that.
placed.
Keep in
I
mind,
legitimately
time
do
doesn't
like when he
stop
does
while you
these.
use the
It
iDroid.
is pretty
You can
useful.
move around while using it, but pay
Okay,
attention to your
now that
surroundings.
was I missed it. Bird it was. Gotta make sure to drop them cages, children. Yeah.
You have arrived at your destination.
You've reached the vantage point. Locate the target.
Oh dear God. I know it seems crazy, but that's how bad
Boss,
it can
the
get.
target's made it to his destination. He's inside an enemy
Really?
outpost. That leaves
So
us
he
no
was
choice
already
but to
there
eliminate
then.
him in the outpost. And it won't be easy.
Staff has been quarantined.
Yeah, he was already there by the time I even. Yeah. All right. So by the time you, so yeah, okay, that's what that was. All that running around out here. That's what happened. You gotta keep it over there. Otherwise, you'll be getting 3 hots in a cot.
Buddy has infiltrated
That's right.
and the map has been updated.
Roommates. Things are everywhere. I do not remember seeing a vehicle.
The target's made it to the enemy post. It won't be easy, but we still need to eliminate him. The post's location is on your iDroid.
The map has been updated.
It'll be fine.
An enemy presence detected. Analysis. The map has been updated.
Gentlemen.
Enemy presence detected.
So fellas,
The map has been
about that nap.
updated.
What? There you go. And there you go. Yeah. Okay, I guess you tired too.
Analysis complete.
Oh, y'all all tired tonight.
Analysis complete.
Don't you eating
He's
there?
coming too. Roger that.
You either. They're literally everywhere. I mean, did infiltrate a base.
Analysis complete.
Or like a little outpost, same, different technique.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Analysis complete.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Analysis complete.
And I keep stopping, and then they give me reasons to keep dropping.
Analysis complete.
Yeah, you're good. He's gonna wake up. It's gonna be irritating.
Hands up. Talk.
Asseblief. Moenie dit doen.
Where are your friends?
Yeah. With him Z's over his head, I can't exactly tell. I know I'm within the range. Fastest person carrier alive, man. He in for a surprise when he wake up.
Eliminate the target. How you do it is your call.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
First time I heard that sound in a minute. Probably been picking up a whole bunch of people who spoke to Congo.
The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis, the map has been updated.
She left supplies over there.
Analysis complete.
Uh-huh. Always good.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
It's just people to hire.
Analysis complete.
Everywhere. Not good.
That's Kaziba Camp. You'll find the targets there. The security forces must know something about the targets. Why not try getting them to talk?
Oh, well. Say it's not good because I kind of want quiet, you know, unquiet place, but that would be unquiet, wouldn't it? He has a vest on. Sleep, you folk. It didn't hit you, huh? We'll go with fast.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Like sleep damage.
Supply drop complete.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Instances like this, I should go ahead and just carry around those supply drop grenades. Make it simpler. Oh my good man. You've been caught slipping. Cool, 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 cool. What? Oh.
him.
Getting uppity and trying to do things. I wouldn't. Then you'll find I'm smarter than the average bear.
Analysis complete.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Everybody gets a job. Yay! Could have just went and got them other supplies, but they're kind of a distance off. Wasn't trying to do all that. 39. E.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Subject on board.
What the hell are you doing? Jacking off with Icy Hot or something? Ooh.
That's the target.
That was honestly pretty cool.
The map has been updated. Analysis
It was
complete.
cool that killed the beast. Not man. Love to drag you through this hole right here, but yeah. You know what?
Analysis complete.
Why don't you play? Enjoy. Nah, she's not a sniper. She's a marksman. Those are different things. Are they really? I don't know. I mean, probably. Probably not.
He's coming too. Roger that.
What? That's what makes it all so bad. It's like got this quarantine problem.
Analysis
But
complete.
can't afford to not be hiring people. Interrupted. Scene.
He's coming too.
They didn't hear you,
Roger
correct?
that.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. The weather will clear
I
shortly.
mean, I'll give you an A for trying, but an F for thinking you can actually hit at that range efficiently. Well, you can hit at that range, but you shooting like you know what kind of certainty you gonna have.
Outpost captured.
Good. Good. Oh. Y'all don't need power. I do. Since I don't right now, y'all don't either. You know, it sounds interesting. And that's the thing that bothers me.
Leave the rest to us.
The method you find out is not used by your people. So, since I know it's Kakana, my people aren't even going off of that. They're just quarantining whoever. It is painful.
chopper or on land.
I'm just gonna Fulton myself out, if you don't mind.
Analysis complete.
You'll be alright. You'll be alright. Time to head on.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Love being able to Fulton out of missions like that. That is so creamy.
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional.
Not exactly a term I'd like to be using, but it's easily understood. Yes, and there's that bond increase. Oh, Quietus, dear Quietus, wherefore is thy silenced trank rifle,
Our
Quietus?
trafficker was very talkative. Guinea pigs. That's what became of his kidnapped victims. Says he got a good look at that factory at Zoya Badiabulu when he dropped off some fresh guinea pigs for them, along with our man without a face. His instincts told him to run like the rat he is. Said it wasn't worth the money. Figured he could be next. That's when he went to the NGO for help. He thought that in exchange for his buyer's list, they could set him up with a new identity someplace far away. He had an idea who he was up against, and he didn't want to take any chances. A true rat. But like us dogs, he knew when he smelled trouble. And something else. He said the specimens come from deep in the forest. We don't know what he meant by specimens just yet, but those guinea pig symptoms match what we've seen on the infected at Mother Base. Deep in the forest. Maybe there's the clue we need to beat this infection. Boss, the truth could be right around the corner.
Well, truth could be right around the corner. Well, I guess we better turn that corner then, hadn't we? Fire grenade ricochet command for quiet is now available. You know, I don't know if you can use this for like non-lethal grenades, but you can for lethal ones. And it is quite impressive, to be honest. Let's see now.
Good. He captured it alive.
Forgot to put down at least one more box. Right. Yep. Cool. Hey, that's what's up. A new skill. Kind of went too fast to catch it. Fortunate. I wonder if you lose people with skills, if you get people who have those skills, are they highlighted again, or is it that you come across the skill for the first time? As you folks can see, I had myself quite a bit of shopping that needed to be done, plus the volunteers as well as the others that we extracted. Volunteers, extractions, volunteers. Again, crazy that I'm hiring people, but you see how fast I'm losing people. I need
Side ops list updated.
Boss, we finally heard from one of our missing intel team members. He says he has a solid lead on the epidemic at Mother Base. Take a look at the mission details ASAP.
Oh, Eli's challenge. Really now?
Please select a landing zone.
All right.
Heading
One more
to Mother
again, huh?
Base.
One more again. All right, little man, let's get it. That's funny. I titled this episode, what was it, Big Little Man? And I wasn't even thinking about this mission. I didn't, Big Little Man. I didn't expect to see this for a bit. I was thinking about that whole child soldier and extracting the commander. I had remembered that mission from a while back, so I knew it was coming. But if We ain't dealing with a big little man complex
Boss,
right
about
here.
Eli. No matter how many times we talk to him, he just won't listen. He sees everything in terms of victory or defeat and still won't accept that you beat him. We're gonna have to put him in his place. Again. If you don't mind, come back to Mother Base and go another round with him.
So what would this be, fourth time being the charm? Because it was me when I captured him. Oh no, that don't really count. So no, it is third time the charm. Because it don't really count in terms of me capturing him. He didn't really consider me to be an equal or a competitor at that point anyway, so it didn't really matter. Now though, he can't ignore me. He in my house. Don't get involved. What's up? It's called memory, kid. You blinded me, but you didn't move from your location. Yeah. You better be glad I didn't bring out the UNC. Hitting you with them rapid fire rubber bullets. You above me, son? Ah! I think we're done here. Round 273. Oh, so we're good now. You sure? This has been kind of fun for me. Why don't you come back? I've always been good with kids. I figure you know. Why not maintain that record?
Has that rat finally accepted that he lost? Hopefully now he'll be a bit more obedient.
Development project has been added.
There we go. Conch shell gives us access to the ability to develop Fultons to rescue children. Enables extraction of children. So I don't need to call a helicopter every time. No.
Roger.
I could really use a shower.
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ.
And an extremely expensive diamond. You know what? Yeah, there's a shower over there.
This is Pequod. Roger. Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
Well, but, you know, get over this way, dude.
This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
Yeah.
Roger.
Didn't get any morale boost for that.
This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
Don't worry about where you're at. Worry about where I'm at. Where I'm going.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Yeah. I'm trying to establish why my men seem to salute me, but I seem to get nothing for it. I mean, I have their admiration and respect, but what kind of use is that to me?
How about expanding the base, huh, boss?
Support helicopter has arrived.
That should be all the expansion you gentlemen need for a while. Since you can't big up your boss and have your boss big up you in return. Do your concussion. And we can talk about what it is you're supposed to be doing later. one more of these since I tried to waylay a couple people. Head back to the ACC and see what it is he's got going. Oh.
Gaining altitude.
Yeah. Looks like I at least put a dent in the combat group.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Matter of fact, what I'll do is let because we're actually kind of done in terms of this episode, but what I'll do is just let some of these tapes run while I do that. Since there's a few we need to catch up on. Get back into the White Mamba.
We placed the White Mamba and the rest of his unit in the staff living quarters. How's that going? It's a disaster, but what else can we do? We've taken away his weapons and banned him from using his nom de guerre. Apparently his real name is Eli. He must feel like we stripped him of his whole identity. We'll let things simmer down. I put a guard on him for now. Still the question is, who is he? Where did he come from? And how has he survived? He's still not talking. No, he won't say a word about himself. But you know, it looks like he speaks English. One of the deck crew called out to him in English, and he said something back. He just lost it all of a sudden, started mouthing off at the guy, in perfect English. He wasn't stringing together words he picked up somewhere. So English is his mother tongue? He could be from the east, or the south, or maybe even further north or south. English is well established in countries all across the continent. It's rooted in Africa like a weed, or maybe parasite is the better word. So just speaking English doesn't help us figure out where he comes from. Could even be from off-continent. Right. In any case, we'll keep an eye on him. If we learn anything else, I'll be sure to let you know.
I want to exit out of this menu, but I don't know if it'll keep my choices. So what I'll do is yeah, okay. Get rid of all of them except this, what is it, Bitter Slug?
Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
Alright.
No.
We'll quarantine the
Exit
staff
out.
you specified.
Go to another
Did
tape.
you figure out what's causing the infection?
It's not so much that I might lose one or two, but if I've selected about a dozen or 100, well, we're dealing with that issue.
Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults.
Yep.
It doesn't seem to
Gone.
mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. The infection rate, along with the number of dead, are both on the rise. If we don't find the cause, and soon.
Boss,
you've ever seen these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher. It could be a counterplay by Skullface. That's insane. You mean they weaponize parasites? Parasites as weapons. That definitely falls under the Biological Weapons Convention, but it's something the world would never see coming. And no one's ever developed a vaccine for parasites. So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa? It may be. But if it is, how do the Yellow Cake and Walker Gears fit in? There must be something bigger we're not seeing. Anyway, our priority now is to prevent more casualties. The medical team is studying the infection, but we can't treat anyone until we know the root cause. All we can do right now is halt the spread of infection.
Yeah, well, that's all you can do. What was it? That was something he said. Hold on. Yeah. Not many Kakongo speakers in the R&D. I can dig it. It makes my job easier.
Select unit.
Alright.
Staff has been quarantined. Plant
What was it that he said?
Quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection?
Look close. Look with the infection.
Incredible, boss. Thanks to you, the number of new victims has plummeted. And the common point between the infected, is it really possible for a disease to spread because of that?
Yeah. Look how he makes it a point not to drop a bomb, but he does let you know there is a commonality in case you've been brute forcing the whole thing.
If we don't find the cause, and soon, if we the infection rate, along with we don't know the root of infection, it doesn't seem to mature in the body. Like we don't.
You remember seeing these symptoms? The bodies floating, the bedridden. It could be a counterplay by.
That's insane. You mean they weaponize parasites?
Parasites.
There it is. I don't see why you're surprised they weaponized parasites. In the ancient days, we used to throw the corpses of infected individuals over castle walls to create plagues and pestilence, to kill them. We used to salt their fields and infest their fields with pestilence to make sure they couldn't eat. This is nothing new. There's a reason why a convention on bioweapons was created.
Remember before, boss? When Quiet attacked one of our guys on Mother Base, stuck a knife in his mouth. He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then.
Miller,
Ooh.
That is a baseless accusation.
The source of the infection is Quiet. Everyone suspects her.
We don't know that. And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil field facility. Those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House. They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher. The infection could have come from elsewhere. But at the very least, she does know something.
It's not like she's gonna talk.
No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic. There must have been a reason for that.
A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men.
What if she's capable of identifying who's infected? What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected.
You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths?
I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who become symptomatic, something in common.
Something their mouths have in common. Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help.
I understand how you feel. But this is something to go on.
Can't you see it's just like I said? Bringing her here was a big mistake. Quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss. There has to be a way to identify who's infected.
There is. I keep telling you, we have gone over this. And I mean, I'm telling you, when it first happened, I made it a point to, I didn't do anything for almost an hour straight, just looking through everybody to where it made sense at.
Staff has been quarantined.
All right. We'll quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection?
And he says it's baseless. Partly it is baseless. I mean, you don't have any proof that it was her, but you do know that she is directly involved. And she kind of kills me with that crap, honestly. She can't communicate it. The woman was speaking when we first met her while she was trying to strangle me to death, having killed my nurse and my doctor in front of me, and then spoke to people over a communicator. They ain't gonna send somebody with skill set like her to assassinate, as in she's a moron. They're not gonna do something like that. That means she's capable of reading, writing, and as we heard, communicating. So if that's the case, the question now becomes, why won't she? Can she not? Well, we set her on fire, and she seems to look just fine. So, if that's the case, one would assume, at least partially, internally, she's just fine too. Partially. Can't really say all the details. Oh, he was the Russian interpreter, specifically. That's why his Russian his Russian skill is highlighted. But like I said, in the end, you know she's involved. Like, get that bitch a pen and paper or something. See if she knows other languages. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Ooh, she calls herself quiet. Okay. Do you need to adhere to that? Is there anything you could do about it? Interesting. There are not many Kikongo speakers. Oh, but then I think about it. I haven't really been in Africa as long as I had been roaming around Afghanistan. Not to mention, I have a whole bunch of people in the brig right now who are still in the process of being persuaded.
Select unit. Staff assigned. Weather will clear shortly.
I feel like there was something we missed. Maybe not. Huh. I want to check something.
Please select a landing zone.
Because I do plan on it basically ending here. But again, I'm kind of, since I'm listening to all these tapes and all that, I'm kind of running through getting these soldiers out of the way. But there's something. Huh. Maybe not. I thought that might have been a cutscene or something. Why? I have no real reason as to why, but just a feeling. Oh yeah, what's my bond level at with you? Can I make your level?
Please specify a project.
Yes, I can. Guilty butterfly it is, baby. Yep, whole bunch in the brig, and a whole bunch that speak Kikongo. You know what, Pequot?
Roger.
Why don't you give me a ride, buddy? I am.
Please select a landing zone.
That's precisely what I'm doing. I wish you were able to properly, like, use this and then still see. Medical, Congo. Medical, a member of the medical team speaking Kikongo. That is every level of problematic. Wow, and that looks like that was the only one. Which means it would have spread from him quietly. Of him dealing with his Kikongo patients, Kikongo speaking patients. And then his allies in the room. Hey, what does that word mean? Oh, it means this, this, and that. Oh, that's cool. What language is that? Kikongo. You mind teaching me when we get a sort of free moment? Sure. Yeah, wow, the only one.
Assigned.
Whoa, what happened to him? Not firing? I couldn't have fired him. What happened to him? There you are.
Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
Like they wouldn't let me fire. Right. Everybody's sick.
We'll quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection?
And it's so very much not surprising that he pretty much knows multiples of multiple languages. Congo, it's crazy. Still flying. Still flying. That's actually a compliment to this game, not a knock against it. I think we just arrived. Maybe not. It's like we might still be moving. Now we've arrived. Courtesy of the physically moving parts and groaning metal of the helicopter. Afrikaans, Pashto. Wow. Now you don't know Congo yet, I don't know, but you definitely will be learning.
Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
Well, hey.
All right.
That's everybody.
Quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection? Roger.
Yes, I did. As we previously stated. Do you have time to acknowledge your boss? Wow, all of them like that. And I've even come. Is it because of this quarantine? Wow. That might actually be what it is. Oh, and I'm in the red crap. Woo. That was a dent, boy. That's alright. Setting aside all the individuals I just hired / recruited, those problems have been finally solved. Thing is, I can't stop recruiting, so it's gonna be a consistently showing up problem. Well, folks, it's gonna be the end of episode 20 of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of my other playlists, and wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves